This is a difference to the tool comparison platforms out there like Tool Finder, because here you're not searching for tools, but you add what you already have and go into a deep thinking process to think about your tool stack in a proper way. Those who are following me on this channel know about the ICOR framework, where we are able to lay out our productivity tools on this map to get a comprehensive overview of our productivity system. That's a static image where you can just drag and drop your apps onto it, which are images using any whiteboard tool. So print it out and even write it on there. That's something that our members do too. However, I always had a dream, and this dream just became true. I built this application that you see right here. And let's dive in, lay out the productivity tool stack that I'm currently using on this map. And if you're interested to check out this app yourself, I will put a link into the description below. But first, let me show you what this is all about, okay? So you see, for those who know the ICOR framework, this is a different rotation here, but it's exactly the same. We have personal knowledge management here, PKM. We have personal project management or task management here, PPM. We have BKM, the business knowledge management, and we have BPM, the business project management. And that's where we can now lay out our tools, but this is going much further than that. So we can go to the tools here. So let's start with Heptabase. See, Heptabase is coming up and it brings it into this inbox here. And that's so I can just keep collecting the tools that I'm using. So it would be ClickUp, it would be Reader, we have Airtable, I use Todoist, I use Sansama, I use Dropbox, G Drive, Gmail, Superhuman. But that's already a good start. It's called an inbox because we love inbox processing. So now I moved all the things into the inbox and now I can start doing the deep thinking process of the tools that I'm using here. So ClickUp, and you see, depending on what overlap I'm going in, the different circles are highlighting. That's much easier to understand now where the overlaps are. So I put it here because we are using it for BPM and PKM. Boom, it's placed. So Heptabase, crystal clear, it's PKM. Airtable is our BKM system where we have CRM and everything in there. And obviously that's a very early alpha version that I show you here. It is becoming so much better. So let's also add a Gmail here, and Gmail we usually place on PPM, PKM and BKM because that's the information that is stored here. And now those who know the ICOR methodology know that we differentiate between core application, and you see it's moving down here to core applications and satellite applications. And Superhuman is a typical satellite application. It just hooks into Gmail and visualize it differently, and I can work on my emails differently, but without any email client, Superhuman is not working. You need to have something like Gmail or Outlook. And in order to represent this, we only need to drag it in and put it onto top of the Gmail. And now look at this. Now we have a satellite thing, and I will optimize this because now it's going through Heptabase. That's not good. So obviously it would look much better this way. So I will optimize it that it will move forward, but it doesn't matter. In order to show you the potential, I think that's more than enough. Here's Sansama, same thing. It hooked into my Todoist, but it also hooks into ClickUp. No problem. We can connect it with both. And now it's moving down there. Again, it's cut off here. I already have a bug list to fix, but I think it's already useful to just see this. And it hooks also into Gmail. So boom, now we have 3 connections to Sansama. And the beautiful thing is it not only moves it to apps, to satellite apps here, Sansama, but it also shows the connections of the apps that is connected and vice versa. So you see ClickUp is connected to Sansama and Gmail is connected to Sansama and to Superhuman. And that gives me really the perfect overview of the tool stack that I'm using here. Then we have Google Drive, Dropbox, and see how it is repositioning, shrinking the tools. That's perfectly working too. And then we have utility apps. That's the third category of applications that we define in a productivity system. So one would be Raycast. So I can add this to the inbox here and I can move this down to utility apps and it's coming up here. You see, I can go full screen. I can see beautifully how my tool stack looks like now. And I can just tell you, this is just the beginning, because obviously I will personally use it for all the future videos to explain to you whenever I'm talking about a new tools. One of you say, what about Ample Notes, right? And I can bring it into the inbox. Now I can start talking about it and say, well, You see, I'm already using Heptabase and Reader in my PKM, so ample nodes would rather go into PKM, but it immediately tells me that it really becomes filled with things. So there's no definition of what information goes into what tool. And that's what you see already on top here, guest user. There will be an option to log in and save these boards and extend them over time. And then the idea is one of the next steps to add additional information to the tools. And you see, this is a difference to the tool comparison platforms out there like Tool Finder and GetApp and Product Hunt and all these things. Because here you're not searching for tools, but you add what you already have and go into a deep thinking process to think about your tool stack in a proper way. And then the moment you find the next shiny object, you make informed decisions what it will affect your overall productivity system. Obviously, the ICOR methodology goes way beyond than just this map, because we have a lot of tool agnostic workflows and concepts, and that's the big vision, that we will be able to bring in all this into the same application. But it is right now just an MVP that we are building, seeing if people are interested in using this. Because the thing is, when we go to the share progress in our membership, and you go through the ICOR journey, we have hundreds and hundreds of people sharing their tools on there, and it becomes very crowded and things like that. You have section where people also share the details about it, what tools they use and so on. And this application will actually remove all the friction. It's no longer a static image. It is actually flexible and easy to update. You can have different versions. You see the progress, how your tool stack will evolve over time. And I think that's the huge potential that we have with this application. If you think this is useful for you and you're not a member yet, well, if you're a member, you will get free access the moment this application becomes available. But as long as we are in early access, all the free members will be able to tinker around with it, because we think we are building this together with you, and that's the easiest way to refine the thing. So I will put a special link into the description below that's not available elsewhere. Use this to sign up for free, and you will get put into a dedicated area inside our membership where we will share more information about this application and then put you into the early access. And also just feel free to go in the comments below the video already to share what you think about this tool and the vision that we have behind this.